It was 2001. I had just married my girlfriend. Sorry, my wife. She was the most beautiful girl. In fact, she still is the most beautiful. I know love is in the eyes of the beholder, but this girl had a very round system. Shh. So round, you could use her as a guide to draw a perfect circle. Anyway, I had just married my sweet bébé, and we were starting life. But here is the thing. None of us had ever been in another relationship. This sounds so cool, to start a life from scratch and enjoy the process together. Something no one ever tells you is, this life runs on so many fantasies and unrealistic expectations. There are so many arguments, fights, breakups, and makeups. One has to become the idiot, then make room for the other to have fun and freely express themselves in order to have some peace. But this is not sustainable. I was the idiot in the relationship. I wanted to be the perfect husband, always make my wife happy. I didn't want to be like the other guys in my neighborhood. They would beat up their women and have disgusting arguments out in the open. I thought that was very backward, something I never wanted to happen in my family. I had some good income. I owned a bar. The name was Tunwe Tufe, simply meaning, let's drink and die. Despite the name, no one had ever died. In fact, I was very blessed. Most of my customers were disciplined. They would flock the bar every evening, spend like crazy, watch football, make noise, and just have as much fun as possible. I bought my wife everything she wanted, never put limitations on her. She would go out with her friends and come back home any time. Most of the nights I would open the door for her. One thing about my sweet bébé, she never drunk without me. Since I owned a bar, she would bring her friends over and would only drink when around me. This made me very comfortable. 2 years passed by. It's 2003. We have no children at all. My wife was looking very, I can't find an English word to express the beauty level this girl was on. So let me use one random gibberish. She was looking very bling, bling, baddest. I know, it doesn't mean anything, but she was looking way past Miss World. Everyone wanted her, but she was mine alone. Though on my side, nothing had changed. I was still wearing the same clothes and same everything. She didn't want to have babies yet. She was now working on TV. Yes, my wife was a celebrity. She was so busy she came home twice a month, but I was empty. I was missing my wife. I was sleeping like a single guy. So many women came around, but I rejected them. I was very committed to one woman, my wife. One of the customers in my bar told me to divorce her and get another woman who would give me time. This sounded like the devil. I expelled this guy from my bar. He made me furious. Does he know how much I have invested on this woman? I said to myself, so he wants me to leave another man, take all my hard work. No, I cannot allow that, I said out loud. No lie, what that guy said stuck on my mind, and I started questioning a number of things. I was getting broke every month that went by. I never got the chance to express myself in this relationship, like my wife. I started to ask myself if she even knew me as well as I knew her. I put my ego down and looked for the guy I kicked out of the bar. Luckily, he was not angry with me, but felt pity for me. I decided to have a chat with him. That day we had a deep chat. He told me a lot. And in the many things he said, he told me not to engage in bedroom activities with my wife. He claims she is cheating on me. Very furious, I kicked him out of my bar once again. This time I used some Chinese martial arts. I sent him out with a flying kick. In Luganda we call this teke teke. How dare he accuse my beloved wife of cheating on me? That very evening, My wife came home. I was very excited. I wanted to jump on her and tear every piece of cloth she had on her body. I was like a hungry puppy, badly waiting for a sweet, sweet bone. She usually makes me beg for her body, but this day it seems she was in a very good mood and didn't even refuse me to touch her. I was excited, but for some reason, I don't know, maybe it was guilt for kicking the other guy out of my bar twice, but I remembered everything he said. I decided to pull myself together and try to hold this till the next day. This started a fight between two naked grown-ups.
I had never seen my wife so angry and very loud. She kept on insisting I was cheating on her. She slapped me, she kicked me, she even got a knife and threatened to cut off my susu. I won't lie. When she talked about cutting my susu, I pulled out my Chinese kung fu for the second time that evening. What I did to the other guy was nothing. This time my enemy had a weapon. I decided to protect my life with everything. We fought so hard, by the way. All of this is happening while we are naked. I forgot about the other men that I despised, the guys who would fight their wives in public. I was now fighting for my susu rights. We fought all night till sunrise. This was not like us, but we had turned to all the couples we thought were useless. We were so tired from fighting and decided to take a nap together without any weapons. We slept till 1 p.m., got up and cleaned the house, and even made lunch and ate comfortably, reminiscing all the weird action that happened last night. Instead of getting angry, we laughed at everything. By the way, we were still naked. After we cooled down, she wanted us to have a bedroom meeting. Honestly, as a man, I needed it more than anything, but something in my head was still not straight. I declined, and this made her very furious. She dressed up and stormed out of the house. Something had changed about me. I didn't chase after my wife. I didn't even flinch. My heart didn't even change the speed it was beating. It's like the fight had released me from the spell that had me in bondage. I stayed home, thinking about everything. Just as I was about to leave the house, my wife came back, and she asked me for a hug to reconcile. I didn't want any more fights. I gave her a hug, but this hug was not electric at all. I never felt the same voltage I used to feel when we hugged. I swear I didn't feel anything special. She asked me to walk out of the house with her holding hands as she headed back to her workplace. I accepted. We walked, and everyone was looking at us. But this time, they were not looking at my beautiful wife, only they were looking at me. We got to the bar, and she left for work. The guy I kicked out yesterday came and said to me, "I hope you didn't do anything stupid this time." I was a different man. I didn't kick him out, but just relaxed and told him I didn't do anything. He then said to me his mission was done, and just like that, he walked away peacefully. I saw him fade into the horizon. My wife came back as usual after a long time, but this time she came back after 3 months. It's like I had forgotten about her. Making things interesting, she came back with a big belly. At first I was excited. I thought my prayers had been answered. I was finally going to be a father. She was still a distance from me. So I quickly pulled out my notebook and started to calculate the days. To my dismay, none of the digits were adding up. Who knows? Maybe I'm just being reckless as any man. Men don't count days of pregnancy, right? I still had question marks because I noted everything down from our first date, even the first words we spoke to each other. Yes, am that emotionally accurate? Anyway, she came closer and hugged me at the bar with everyone looking. Once again, the people were not looking at my wife, but they were looking at me. She spoke out loud, "Honey, congratulations, you're finally going to be a father," but it seems No one was impressed or even moved by the announcement. All this was not right. I told her to calm down and have a sit so we can talk about it privately. But she burst out of anger and started to shout at my employees, saying, "You idiots! How dare you not celebrate when your boss's wife is pregnant? I'm about to have your future boss. In fact, from today onwards, I'm going to be around watching all of you with a keen eye. I will fire each one of you, ungrateful peasants." This very arrogant lifestyle was not welcome here. I had to stand up for my employees and told her to sit and keep quiet. But it's like I had poured a box of chili pepper in a glass of drinking water. She made a scene and started to cry and blame me for taking the employee's side instead of hers. I am still the nice guy from before. I didn't want to be ashamed in public, as I was thinking of what to do. A program on the TV that liked to watch started, and someone intentionally raised the volume. Guess what? My wife was on the news. It was a gossip show, and they were talking about her being fired from her workplace for sleeping around with company stuff and clients. This was not good news, but it was somewhat a relief. We all stared at her as she was seated on the ground looking puzzled. "It's just media, those people. They are trying to sabotage me. They don't want to see a woman succeed," she said out loud. We thought that was it. One guy from the bystanders came and handed me a newspaper. It had a headline, "Popular TV star caught with city tycoon." At this point, I started to realize something. Every time I walked with my wife, everyone's eyes were locked on me. I couldn't believe this. My heart started to pump so hard you could hear it from the next district. I sat down in disbelief. When she tried to come closer to me, all my employees stopped her and got her out of the bar. She decided to go to my home, but there were many people in support of me. They told her to leave and never come back. When she went to her home, her parents were disappointed in her. They gave her a small hut to live in many meters away from the main house. They didn't want to associate with her. That is how our fantasy love life died. Sometimes I feel like I survived, but also I wonder what life would look like if none of this had happened. If only she endured with me and gave us a chance to experience this beautiful journey together. Now, many years later, I'm the biggest landlord in our area. My bar became a real deal on the district. I married my assistant. She knows how to manage money. And here is the best part, she pays me a salary for being her husband. I am really a very lucky man. How can I forget the best part of the story? I have 5 beautiful children with this lovely woman. Oh yes, I finally became, I am a father of 5. Thanks for watching. Feel free to share this with your friends and family. This is iGuy Storyman